Hello and welcome to Be Powerful with Liz and Lee. It's a new day and we're so glad you're here.
So you can expect to hear candid conversations on what it means to be powerful. Live authentically, live in the midst of ups and downs, productively, and above all else, joyfully.
We are so thankful for you, our community of listeners, and we hope you enjoy today's show.
So, yeah, this is a little different.
Bonjour, Liz.
Bonjour, my Paris.
Whoa.
My Parisian.
My Parisian.
My Parisian lover.
Hi.
Hi.
Here we are.
In my kitchen.
Podcast recording.
No, let's pretend we're in Paris. Do you think they believe us?
Well, now that we've told them, please believe us.
No.
We're in Paris.
Yeah, we just got back yesterday.
We returned.
Mm-hmm. And we also, let's just say up front, we forgot that we were owing you all a podcast, and now one of our pieces of equipment is being used by none other than Hilliard Studio Method. Because one of those pieces of equipment, you would act like we would spend some money on some equipment there. But anyway, we don't have the equipment, so we're using your phone today.
Yeah, we'll see how this turns out.
And Lee's really excited because, tell him.
Well,
you don't have to put your makeup on.
That's because you're looking at me in the face going, oh, goodness.
Yeah. No, you always go, oh, do we have to
get camera ready?
Yeah, so we're not going to be, we'll be on YouTube this time, but this will be the best part about this podcast.
What?
We're going to try not to bore them with our really hot details of Paris.
Yes.
We're going to try to intrigue them with our hot details of Paris, but we're going to have those pictures that we curated from Paris. So that means
lots of pictures of Liz.
Yes. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I did this post last night, and I kind of stressed doing it for Instagram because Lee goes, yeah, if you looked at your Instagram, it's pretty much about you. And I'm like, well, it's my Instagram.
It's your Instagram.
Right. But it was your tone.
Oh, God.
So I did every other picture of me and you. And since we're a couple, we took pictures of each other in Paris. And there's one or two where we just, begged someone to take our picture.
It worked out.
It worked out beautifully.
It worked out. Because what did happen is we started the year off recording episodes for all of January.
Yes.
And then we listened to those episodes and went, I don't think so.
It's not really fitting into the environment we're in right now.
No, I think we went a little like, it's not the energy we want to provide.
Exactly.
So we went off to Paris and had a great time.
Yes, we did.
And we were celebrating
my birthday
life, but most importantly, your life of 71 years.
Just life in general. You can't go to Paris and not celebrate life in general. Mm-hmm. And by the way, we were there January 20th, which was my birthday, Inauguration Day. MLK Day. All those things were happening in America. And it was a sensitive day for some of us. Mm-hmm. And I love to celebrate my birthday. So to go away to a place where everyone was just not thinking about those things, including my birthday, was kind of like freedom. It was just
right.
It was such everything felt so sophisticated and refined and
civilized
and fun.
Old, beautiful buildings and cleanliness. And
yes. As a matter of fact, we're going to put a link to one of my favorite Joni Mitchell songs, and the name of it is A Free Man in Paris. And one morning when we were getting ready, I put that on my phone. And, no one's calling me up for favors. The whole thing. Anyway, so it's actually written by Neil Diamond.
That's what I wanted to know. So she covered it.
She recorded it.
Okay.
Legally. She didn't steal the music.
Well, I'm saying he wrote it for her singer.
And I wrote it for her. He wrote it for him. He did it. Anyway, the point being, Joni Mitchell.
Isn't that a cover when then she sang it again?
We're not going to get into the whole disagreement they may or may not, but did not ever have about this.
My point is, I like hearing a woman singing about being a free man in Paris.
But you know what? just like in the Bible, a man means humankind. He's just talking about, I was a free man in Paris, wandering down the Champs-Élysées.
Did you feel like a free woman in Paris? A free man in Paris?
Absolutely. I did. It was freedom and happiness and deliciousness and joy and the best brunch ever.
Brunch. So the reason you're calling it a brunch is we're on a little bit of a rhythm when we travel, that we stay up late and sleep in late.
Well, we stay on American time.
Pretty much.
Yes.
And so then when we wake up, it's time to get ready because I have all these reservations at all these places I want to go.
But let's just say American time is 6 hours behind French time.
Right.
Now continue with your reservation.
Thank you for sharing.
Well, some people might not know that.
Yes, no, I get it. But that's why you were calling it brunch, because you like to get up and do your start of your day breakfast.
With real breakfast food. I'm an American breakfast girl.
Uh-huh.
And I do my smoothie, I do my apple, I do my tea or coffee now. And
or your smoothie.
I did not do it in Paris.
No.
Instead,
you had coffee and apple, and then we went straight to champagne.
I had espresso and apple, and we went. Oh, yeah. And then it was like, yes, we wake up like at 11, 10:30, we were really going early. And we always had 12:30 or 1 lunch plans at these fabulous, fabulous places, which we will put in the show notes. But before we tell you where they were, we would start every day with a glass of Blanc de Blanc, champagne.
Not in the bed, but like...
Not in the bed.
Once we got...
No. We did that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was sort of a free-flowing champagne day.
It was a champagne trip.
Yeah.
Which is great. I do want to say one thing, though, because it was for your birthday, and you said nobody celebrated it there. You know, like when we were there.
Oh, but they
weren't.
did.
But they did.
Yes.
Because the nice hotel had a sign and balloons up. And then we had a beautiful dinner in the Eiffel Tower, and they had a birthday cake for you.
Oh, my
a joyeux anniversaire.
Okay, can we speak about that for a minute?
Was that a highlight?
A highlight was the Jules Verne restaurant in the Eiffel Tower. It is a Michelin star restaurant, so, code for bring your pocketbook. But also your taste buds. The most we've been to Michelin star restaurants before. Not to braggadocio too much here, but we have, and because we like to go first class. When we go strong, and so we almost didn't go. Because we kind of thought it would be trendy. I mean, not trendy.
Well, trendy, yes. Touristy.
But we thought it would be touristy or something.
Or overrated. And I hadn't talked to many people who had been, if anyone, almost. So we said, no, I don't know. Let me know how it is. And so we went back and forth on, should we cancel? Should we go? Should we not? And you are correct. It was just fabulous.
It was off the hook. I mean, you go up in an elevator up to like midway up the Eiffel Tower. And it's cool because the elevator is kind of going sideways.
Up the leg.
Up the leg of it. It's just phenomenal, the view and all that. But getting into it, they put us in the most perfect seat in the whole place. We were facing the beautiful city of Paris. The moment we sat down, the service was right there. These beautiful bites, and poured us this perfect Blanc de Blanc. It's my new thing. I don't think I can go back to any other kind of champagne.
Or just any other
I'm going to have to
liquid.
sell my house just to drink the champagne I like.
No, it was really good. And to your point with the Michelin star restaurant, they can sometimes, for me, be over the top as far as food. I just want good food that is presented well, and they can get overtly fancy. And while it was fancy, it was truly delicious.
Oh, it was so delicious.
So I would highly recommend. I mean, it's super expensive. Like,
yeah.
Sell a kid, sell a kidney, sell some platelets.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sell your fine china.
Right. It's worth it.
And it was worth it.
It's worth
and it always feels, I like things that require a large deposit, and then you just pay the other half when you get there.
You didn't even tell me that until we were there. You were like, by the way, it was
half paid for.
Yeah. Well, it was.
It was. So it felt cheap. Inexpensive. Not in the least. And the interesting part, too, of going in January is, of course, it's winter. Mm-hmm. And it was a rainy week. But I think that made it very romantic.
Romantic.
Even though we got a little wet in our feetsies.
Who cares?
It was fun to pop an umbrella and look up at the Eiffel Tower in all its glory.
No, rain in Paris is not like rain in Charlotte or rain anywhere else. Rain in Paris is almost like sprinkling of champagne. It's just perfect. It's just the way you do. You just take your umbrella. I had that big fur coat, my big giant fox fur, because it was cold. Mm-hmm. Actually, it was colder in Charlotte, but it was cold. And, it got a little damp. So what? It's an animal. It dried out. It was fine.
Speaking of animals.
Yes.
One highlight of your trip was when you had a private lunch with a kitty cat.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And we were wondering, this was after we had hiked up. I highly recommend. We hiked up the Arc de Triomphe, and it was so.
Say it again.
No, I knew you were going to do this to me. I am not. By the way, in France, I'm a really good French speaker. In America, it's like somebody puts a sack over my head, and I can't say it.
You got to hear it.
The Arc
other people.
de Triomphe. Arc de Triomphe.
You got it on the Champs-Elysees. We walked up. I was scared.
Why were you scared?
Well, not scared, but it's just one winding staircase.
You were scared going up? Oh, you were. I remember.
A little bit. I have to stay on the side of the wall.
You also got scared. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, let's stay on that. You walk up, I think it's 400 stairs or something. And then you have a 360-degree view of Paris, which was beautiful. Mm-hmm. Then we traipsed across town to Notre Dame Cathedral, which has reopened since its fire.
Go see it.
Glorious.
Glorious. It's brand new looking. It's like they saw whenever the year it opened. What was it like? The 11 something, 12 something?
11/18.
Yeah. Everything is brand new, clean. All the artwork has been clean. So it looks like brand new art. Mm-hmm. It's really unbelievable. It's outrageously gorgeous. So we did that. And then we just found a place because we were starving at this point. And it had been a while since we'd had our blanc de blanc.
And we hadn't had any yet that day.
And then we went into an equally old, like 1600s.
Yes, La Procope. And so it's a institution on the left bank in the 6th. Mm-hmm. And I'd heard of it, but we didn't have plans to go there because it was a little bit later. And we went and they pulled the tables out. Everything is really closely situated, one table to the next, sharing booths, sharing sharing chairs. So when they pulled out the table on the booth side for you,
there was a cat all curled up, all in a ball. And there was his human. My cat was a girl cat.
Okay.
Pixel was a girl. And so she had a male human that was with her. And she was sitting in one seat and he was sitting in the other. And I, being a cat lover, understood that it would be very wrong of me to ever try to take her seat. So I wedged myself in between this little sofa and her. And she looked up at me as if to say, I'm sorry, what? And so I put my hand out, and you always do an open palm to a cat, by the way, or to almost any animal.
Right.
And I let her smell my fingers, and then immediately I just flipped my fingers right under her chin, and she just gave me the purr of my life. And she curled right up against me, and she was my friend the whole time and didn't even mess with her own human.
Oh.
It was really the best. It was the best serendipitous lunch moment for me because I love cats.
You do love cats. And
I love them so much.
Was lucky that I was not a sneezing.
You did not sneeze. And that cat was all over me.
I know.
She did not. If I would move, she would move closer. If I would shift, she would just get closer up into me.
I'm not allergic. Everything's better in Paris.
Everything's very, and so we're gonna have to go to Paris and get a cat.
So after a long lunch, her human took her. It was time to go. She did not want to leave. Kind of arched her back.
She wanted to be with me. She came closer to me.
I know. And he finally got her and draped her around his neck.
Yes.
Like head on one side of his left ear, tail on the right side of his ear. And it was just like, what? That is so cute. They were going to traipse back across Paris together.
They had walked 2 miles just doing whatever that human wanted to do. 2 hours.
2 hours.
Oh, 2 hours.
Yeah, they walked and walked.
And so the reason he said that the cat was so tired was because they had walked together. Well, I thought it had been on a leash. No, it had been hanging around his neck. Anyway, that is my next thing. is move to Paris, get a cat, wear it on my neck, and go to the greatest restaurants in the world.
I mean, can you imagine going here into Charlotte to a restaurant, seeing a cat in the restaurant? First of all, what cat wouldn't just be like bounding around?
Oh, the Americans would be going, I'm sorry, I'm allergic to cats. I'm allergic to peanuts. I'm allergic to air. I mean, Americans would lose their minds. Yeah. In Paris, we were everywhere.
Animals welcome.
Oh, we were at Lunch at Dior. And yes, we will name drop this stuff. And dogs and lots of dogs.
In Dior?
Oh, you missed the 2 dogs that you had was it Dior?
I don't think so. Anyway,
there were dogs everywhere.
All pets welcome.
We only saw 1 cat at lunch, though.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That was significant. Yeah. Fun. Okay, another highlight. Yours was the cat. Uh-huh. Mine was the cabaret.
Oh,
remember?
Yes, the Crazy Horse.
Crazy Horse. That's one of the oldest cabarets, one of.
No, it was from 1954.
Yeah.
No, 51. 1951.
Yeah.
Because the other one we've gone to before.
Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge. Yeah, that's 1800s, right?
We're getting our facts all wrong, and I don't have a clue, but probably. So not the oldest, but one of the most, I guess, established.
Yes.
Like it's in the 8th arrondissement, so it's, a classy area, and it was really good.
It was really good. I'm telling you, the minute you walk in, and don't take a picture, because I did, and I was told quickly not to.
Can you imagine why?
They're all
women
gorgeous.
Half naked.
And no, they were pretty much naked.
Yeah.
They had a strip across their, private area. But that was pretty much it.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah, they were naked and wore some great hats.
Very cool. Wigs, hats.
It was cool.
Other accessories, I guess.
It was really fun.
And they were just kind of quick sets of great dances, kind of singing along to more old school music. So it's not the traditional French can-can if you want to go to that.
That's Moulin Rouge.
Go to Moulin Rouge if you want a kind of sexier.
This was sexy.
Evocative one.
Yes.
Erotic, then this was a good one.
Crazy Horse.
Crazy Horse.
Right. So, that was a highlight. My other highlight was Plaza Athénée.
Ooh.
That bar.
Yeah, the first night.
Wasn't that right after, no, it wasn't. That was a different night. Anyway, doesn't matter.
I don't remember.
All the martinis, all the champagne.
I think we were going on one of our first little walks for fresh air and decided to pop in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we ate at the hotel the first night.
Right.
And our hotel, I'll put this out, Grand Powers, really excellent food.
Very healthy food. Really healthy.
Which is a little bit different for Paris because it's all very decadent and a little bit meat-driven.
But the Parisians eat a very healthy diet. The food is real. The food is not what we eat here. The bread is not what we eat here. We eat bread 3 times a day, at least.
Yeah.
But this was more real health food. Like, I don't know. Different.
It was good.
It was really good. Yeah.
It was really good. But overall, how would you, give me a few adjectives to describe your birthday in Paris in January?
Extravagant, elegant, romantic.
Just like you.
Sexy.
Okay, keep going.
I mean, I've got a lot of them. Cozy.
Yeah.
And by the way, I want to say every waiter that we met, and we met a lot of waiters and waitresses, if they still call them that. But anyway, every waiter in Paris, and especially, I'll give a shout out to you, Lee, taxi cab drivers, because we came in strong with our, French words at the beginning. Maybe we couldn't pull the full sentence off. Maybe we would intersperse English words. They loved us.
Right.
We felt sort of celebrated. I felt very celebrated. People gave us the great tables. I don't know. Maybe you had made that arrangement already, but we were treated so well and I think traditionally Parisians have gotten the reputation that they're not as friendly as the rest of France.
Sure.
Our experience in this week, and we've been there, this is our 3rd time we've been to Paris. We've never had a bad time, but this time we had exceptional interactions with the Parisians, especially when the taxi cab driver, we were going to Caviar Caspia to have a martini, as one does, and turns around in the taxi and just starts talking to you. with his broken English and his great French, of course, about how pleasant you are, because thank you for coming and getting in my taxi,
Well, I think
speaking French.
The recognition here is that I was trying, right? And so I think Paris, maybe especially in January, maybe less touristy. And so maybe they're more grateful for being less touristy and for someone to try to speak French and make an effort. We've been in other places in France where I have gotten completely shut down and lack of confidence that maybe I think theoretically they're more touristy or resort driven. So they're expecting English. And so if you speak or say hello in French and they answer immediately in English, I just get embarrassed and just start speaking English. But you didn't this trip. That's what I'm saying. I didn't. And that made me more confident. And then when he first gave me a compliment, I went, okay, I'm going to keep trying. And like you said, to intersperse just English when you have to.
But when you think about people that come to this country,
here's the point.
And they speak many words, say it's Spanish, they'll speak Spanish words and then they'll intersperse English. You can understand what they're saying. You understand they're actually trying. And that makes all the difference. And so
imagine if you were, you got a Pilates studio. What if someone came in and just started speaking French to you and expected that you knew what they were saying and spoke everything back in English? It's the same concept. Is Paris a huge international
English speaking?
Yes.
Definitely they do.
Capital city, or most of them are, yes. And so, they're very accommodating to English people. I mean, everybody, gave you the option for an English menu or didn't scoff or anything, but I think it's that mentality.
I thought it was fun because you would say, no, I'll do the French. And I would go, English.
For the menu?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was always.
Well, and I've not spoken French. I mean, I'm 45, almost 6 years old. And I only spoke it through high school and college.
Well, you also took a class.
That's what I'm saying.
Class in my life.
I have historically in my head or in my, language barrier back in there somewhere, knowledge of general French.
Right.
But when you don't use it, you lose it. And so the more I would see it and read it and force myself to do it and just have small conversations, the better it gets. If you've never learned how to pronounce anything or say the words, then yes, you're excused. But that's why you travel with a French woman.
Exactly. And I got pretty good at the end. And anyway, they appreciated us. We appreciated them. And we just had nothing but great interactions with people. It just felt really special.
And we've said it 1,000 times on here why we love travel. And that's a huge part of it. It's nice to get out of your surroundings, change it up, be aware, see the beauty.
And to notice that not everybody in the world is focused on the events that we are, maybe in our communities, in our country, whatever. They have their own way of looking at life. And that's why I like Paris, because it is so international.
Yeah.
And they are looking at it the whole world scope. It's just, there's something so much. I think everyone needs to travel. I think it should be a requirement. Everyone needs to travel. Get out of here.
Look around and look at prices and flights and planes, and people are traveling.
Yes, people are traveling. That's what I can't quite get over that. It's just there's a lot of people that you're just going, how is everybody? I can barely afford to get on some of these things. This is expensive to travel.
Well, and we took a week off of work in the middle of January in a fitness studio. That's a lot.
That was ballsy.
So that's what we do for your birthday, which is in January, and we're lucky, and I feel like colleagues are around and helpful.
Well, we got the best staff in the planet.
Right.
As a matter of fact, thank you guys. I guess you won't get this out until after we won the Bob Award, and I'm going to go ahead and predict it because we really put a lot of value on our clients, on our friends that come into the studio. And boy, for us to leave, like you just said, in the middle of January and leave Carrie and Abby and Sarah and Jillian and both Carolines and all of them and Annie, and I can't name them all.
Alexis and Liz.
Lizzie. Everybody just steps up, and that's just more than unusual. We just got a really strong group of people that are the reason Hilliard Studio Method is so special is because of those people. And because of you all that come in there. And it was flawless. I suppose, did I care? They didn't miss me at all. They didn't miss They didn't miss us.
Not really. Abby goes, that wasn't long enough. You should go longer.
Yeah,
today.
I know.
I said, well, we all concur. We all agree on that. We can all agree on that. So I've said to you more than once how grateful I was for this trip, this opportunity, as
well. What do you mean? Yes. I mean, but we're together and we do these things together.
Yeah.
And it's just incredible that we, honestly, I know that one of our clients came up to me today and she said, one day I want to go to Paris the way you all go to Paris. And I said, well, then you need to go now. Don't wait.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got children too.
That's right.
And I know that it's a different situation. Every family is a different situation. But why wait? Why wait till you get too old to enjoy it? I mean, obviously I'm older, but I'm never going to be too old. I just travel now. Don't wait. Travel when you've got children that you can maybe leave with your parents or your babysitters. It's not going to maim them. They're going to be okay.
Everyone will be better on the flip side of it.
Go get away with your husband or your wife or just your person and find a way to get outside of yourselves. Because when you're outside of yourselves and you're not dealing with all the everyday necessities of getting dinners and doing homework and making sure you're hitting quotas at work, your creativity just spills over. And when your creativity spills over, you fall in love with life again. You fall in love with life and you fall in love with your partner again and again and again. Mm-hmm. And then you also see the world and fall in love with the world and you go, it's not that bad.
Right.
We're not.
And it's not, I hate to say it's not that serious, but it's not that serious. I mean, to take life a little bit with a grain of salt and recognize we're all just little pieces of this puzzle and to
see the big picture. When you travel, you see the big picture. And yes, we're not going to talk about politics, for heaven's sakes. That's the reason, we just chose not to bring those other 2 podcasts we had already in the bank, because we are a country, we are a world that has gone through changes after changes, leaderships that felt scary, leaderships that felt ecstatic. And we're living in a nation right now of people that are so ecstatic and happy and other people that are so frightened. And we can all do this. We have done this before and we're going to do it again. So being outside of it just reminds you, everybody has one language, and that is truly love and kindness.
I agree.
And we all respond to love and kindness, and whether we speak each other's language or not. And it's just so gratifying and sort of renewing and makes you remember why you love to be alive. Mm-hmm. When you see that as a worldwide thing.
Right. Right.
So.
Well, and that's part of that thank you thing. I thought about that a lot while we were there, is when you're speaking in a different language, it felt like the only thing I knew how to say was merci, 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 which is thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's what I would have said in English too. Yeah. And that's what I meant with the gratitude that I have it for you, for our ability to do this, for our team to allow us to do this, for everything, for just the opportunity to be reminded of all those things you said and the positivity of it, and that we do have to be a light in the darkness, because Absolutely. When it does get hard and those roller coasters for you, for anybody else, that it comes back up.
And you
remember. Then when you can shine the light, you should. It's helpful.
Yeah. And then you remember how incredible life really is. So don't wait. Don't wait. Don't even wait on the good weather. Go
that doesn't matter.
Weather. Just go. Yeah. Just go. But anyway, I am glad to be back.
Here we are.
Even though I just got off the phone with my daughter and she goes, wait, you're back?
She was really surprised you came back.
She really was. She was like, I knew you said you were coming back, but I just thought maybe you would change your plan. And then I was like, you're exactly right, Clary. I should have changed my plan. So I'm not sure how long I'll be here, but
we'll enjoy you while we can.
By the way, it was great to be in the studio today, working out with all you guys, and
for sure,
that was the challenge I wanted and the challenge I needed. And it made me feel so good to walk in that studio.
Isn't that the best?
It really did. So
I know. I felt like it was quick and long at the same time. I don't know. It's like a travel time warp, right? Mm-hmm. Like, whoa, a week ago seems so far away, but it seemed like it went by in the flash of an eye. But the feeling I had walking into the studio and seeing everybody today and teaching the workout and doing the workout and then having a meeting felt good.
We had a fun meeting. Yeah. Well, we're back for a little while. So we wanted to come on and just...
Ready or not, here we come.
Here we are. I mean, because we love doing this podcast. And we promise we're going to get our equipment back. I mean, it's not like the studio cannot afford another one of these, whatever they're called.
It was a small device. We had 2. Anyway, the details don't matter.
Details
don't matter. But
that's why we're on Lee's phone. But
here we are.
Yeah, we'll get back into our professional podcast equipment next week. But this week,
last week of January. Whoa!
I know. Yeah, and I know a lot of people have not having a great January. People have been complaining about weather, but remember, it's January.
I think we should say this too. A lot of people have been complaining about or saying that they've been sick.
Oh yeah,
and so we need to keep ourselves
mentally and physically attuned, and take care of yourselves and allow yourself to hibernate a little bit. This is the thing before I had Hilliard Studio Method, in between back when I was really young, like 30s, 40s, I guess 30s and 40s, I was still modeling. And I've said this maybe on a podcast before, but there's nothing happening, at least in Southeastern fashion, in January. And I used to basically take the whole month, get a couple books, sit by a fire and read a book and not worry about anything else except making sure my child was okay. My husband at that point was okay. And that I was okay.
Right.
Because it's cold, it's dark. If you want to go to a beach, fine. But in a way, I'm like, let's embrace this darkness and this quietness that we actually get to have. We're lucky that we live in North Carolina, in a place that we actually get the weather. It gets cold, and then we get to look forward to the warmth coming back in the spring. So to me, it's that beautiful harmony and the circle and the cycle of the seasons that turns me on. So, that in Paris.
I didn't know the seasons turned you on so much.
Well, they do. No,
I get it.
If I had to leave, honestly, I wouldn't want to live in a temperate season anywhere. I couldn't make it in Florida. I like the change. So
that's good.
We are back, and we're going to see you guys in the studio. What else you got to say, hot stuff? Because you really look good today. You might not have wanted to put your makeup on, but that's because you didn't need it.
That was sweet.
No.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
She gets really nervous when I start talking.
I do. Anywho, I'm great. Au revoir.
Au revoir. Let's go and pour some champagne.
I can't. It's carpool time. Back to reality. Yeah. You could lay on the sofa and have some Blanc de Blanc and read.
That's not going to happen either. But anyway,
love you.
I love you too. Thank you guys for letting us be with you today, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to us today, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can now find our podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. If you liked it, please share, rate, and review. We love 5 stars. And we hope you'll work out with us online or in studio at HilliardStudioMethod.com.